Hey guys, this is James from TeaDB, bringing you InBetweenIsode number 54. So today I am bringing another tea from YangQing Hao. They were the producer of the previous episode, InBetweenIsode 53, where we brought on the Yiwu Chawang. And so here are the wet leaves from that session. Really nice tea, really nice session. And so this is another tea from 2005. It also sells for the exact same amount, $175 for 500 grams. And I think, at least in my initial sessions with this, and I'm curious to resession this since I've acquired a cake, which you've seen in some of those clips, is to see how it compares. So this is also Emmett, who is coordinating those group orders, sort of like insider pick or whatever. So this is a 6 famous tea mountains blend, and so those of you not familiar, those 6 famous tea mountains are kind of in that MangZhi County area, which is usually called sort of like the greater Yiwu area. So there's like ManZhuan, Yibang, MangZhi, a bunch of those guys. And so this is Mr. Yang's blend, and it's a really nice tea. So we're gonna get going right now. So I sessioned the Yiwu Chawang yesterday, so it is somewhat fresh in my memory. Really sweet, herbally, very friendly, and like lots of that characteristic Yiwu taste. And already we can sort of see that it's brewing up a darker red, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And so, similar to the last episode, I already have rinsed it once and drank the initial infusion. Once more. Yeah, so $175 for 500 grams. So this also represents sort of like the, I don't want to say the lower tier because that'd be generally incorrect, but sort of like the bottom part of YangQing Hao's price range. They have some teas that go all the way up to $800 for 500 grams, something like that. It's also a big, massive 500-gram cake, so it's really important for everyone to do that dollar per gram conversion when you're doing this. Had a brief incident of tea spillage, so we are actually on steep number 3. Cheers, guys. So in comparison to the Yiwu Chawang, there's a lot heavier of a body. There's a lot more of that initial mouth taste. It has less of that sort of velvetyness going on. It does have a really soft form to it too, which is very pleasant. So it's sort of like in between in sort of those categories. It's definitely not got the fight that you would associate with something really strong, but it's definitely a little bit heavier, I would say, than the Yiwu Chawang. A little bit less sweet, a little bit more earth, a little bit bassier. The body, I would say, is definitely like a significant step up. There's still some stuff that goes on sort of like at the back of the mouth. Cheers. So I'd say this infusion, number 4, has sweetened a little bit, so some of the sweeter notes are coming out. It has yeah, so more similar notes to the Yiwu Chawang are coming out in this one. So I mean, you can kind of tell that this is probably more of a blend than, for instance, the Yiwu Chawang. It's a little bit dynamic. Some of the flavors are going in, some of them are going out. It's very whole leaf, so depending on the individual leaves that you end up picking out, because we are Westerners, we tend to have smaller sessions, so we're only doing 4 or 5 grams. So if you happen to pick 4 or 5 grams and like 50% of it is from one area one time, and the next time you do it, it's like 20% is from that same area, then you could get very different sessions depending on the tea. And so I think I might be seeing a little bit of that now, as this isn't exactly as I remember it, but it is very nice. And so I definitely say that this infusion is my favorite. It's got a sweet, dense body. It's got some of that back of the throat stuff. It's a little less emphasized, I would say, than the Yiwu Chawang, in terms of that throatiness in the back and sort of like that velvety, really nice, pleasant softness to it. Let's have a smell. Again, a really nice aroma. Getting bits of similar aroma, I would say, to the Chawang, maybe little bits of leather, a little heavier in that sense. And we'll push this a little bit longer, similar to the previous episode. And I'm noticing more of the Huigan coming into the mouth, so maybe it's not as immediately obvious as something like the tea from the previous episode, but it's definitely there. So in general, it just has a much heavier character, and I would say that's true for the aroma too. It's less of like light. And light would not even be the correct way, but it's less high, if we're to use sort of like a music analogy, which people sometimes use, and more so like in that middle notes of range rather than the Yiwu Chawang, which is maybe middle to sort of those higher notes. Cheers. So there's definitely a lot more bite in this. In the previous tea, when I pushed it, it really didn't get all that bitter. There's a touch of bitterness here. It's definitely not heavy. Some of those like leathery notes and stuff like that are a lot more prominent here in a really nice way. The form of it's really, really nice. The texture of it is sort of like big and soft. Great mouthfeel. Some fruit flavors coming in. Yeah. And overall, I would say that it's definitely sweetened up a good deal since the first couple infusions. But yeah, so I would totally recommend this tea. I hesitate to say that which one is better between this and the Yiwu Chawang. I'll just say that they are sort of different genres. The Yiwu Chawang this is the heavier tea of the two. I could definitely understand going for either one. So of course the solution is to get both. Just kidding. But you could definitely ask Emmett for a sample if you were to pick up this of the Yiwu Chawang, or vice versa, depending on which one sort of sounds the most interesting to you. But I would definitely totally recommend both of these teas. I think they are well worth the price, which, while it seems like a lot, I think you'll discover that it's really, really very reasonable for the quality of tea. So thank you, Emmett, and thank you, Mr. Yang, for producing these really wonderful teas and aging them. Cheers, guys.